What's going on, everyone? It's your boy Goose coming at you live from an undisclosed, pre-recorded? Live from an undisclosed location in the Dash League Network studios. And I'm going to give you
Welcome everyone back to DashCast Season 2. We had Season 1 and Season 7 of Dash League and then took a hiatus during Season 8, but we are back for Season 9. I have in the booth with me Goose.
Woo! What's up, guys?
We got Lazarus here.
Hi. Hello.
We got LobsterMaster with us.
Hello.
And we have Golumbo himself, Notgullom.
Hey.
All right, so on this episode, we're going to go over various things. We're going to start off with introducing Gollum as the new commissioner. He'll talk a little bit about that, and as well as Season 9 and some VRML stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to chat a little bit with Laz and LobsterMaster becoming new regular cast members on DashCast. We want to talk a little bit about the Power Tournament that's coming up. And we also want to talk about the merch store, the Ko-Fi donation site, and we want to talk about Dash League University. And we'll see if we can get Blister in to talk with us a little bit in that segment. But we're going to start off with Gollum here as new commissioner. I want to say, as founder of the league, I started off as the original commissioner, and just over time, it weighed on me a bit, and I had suffered from a lot of bit of burnout, and I basically came to the conclusion that as much work and effort that needs to be put into this league, I didn't feel that I was wanting to put that much work and effort into it anymore. That's what burnout is.
Mm-hmm.
So last season, Gollum had joined the board, and Gollum was one of the best board members we had ever had. He took initiative on his own. He didn't have to be directed as to when to speak up or when to take charge on something or anything like that. He didn't need direction. He could handle it on his own. And so through that season, I was seeing Gollum as a good potential new commissioner. And to be perfectly honest, Gollum, if you weren't as high quality of a board member as you were, I don't know that I would have felt as comfortable stepping down as commissioner to hand it off to someone. So it was awesome, your work last season. And already this season, I'll tell you guys, Gollum and the new board we have in here are so active, and they're getting a lot of stuff done. But I'll hand it over to Gollum, let him speak a little bit about what he wants to speak about as new commissioner.
Sure. Well, I appreciate your combination. Congratulations to my ascendancy and your own personal obituary for league commissioner position. You really have been you and everybody who's worked with you in the board, especially like you and Style Dev, but everybody who's worked with you through the board up to this point, have been so good about setting the precedent for what running a league like this should be. And that has made, at least how I see my job, infinitely more clear-cut and really kind of helped me to hit the ground running, rather, when it comes to taking on this new leadership position, or rather, kind of a handing over the reins towards me. All of this hard work that you've put in really has set such a excellent foundation for how to run a league, and is something that I hope to continue forward with, and in as many ways as possible improve upon, and try to not only provide as much as possible from a quality standpoint to this community, but also make the running of the league more clear, make it easier on us so we can do a better job as board members, as league staff, and hopefully grow the league through that, through being able to direct our energies and our ideas in a more effective and efficient manner in any way possible, and through communicating with our community members and asking for help when we need it, frankly. One thing that's new at this season is our new website, and we wouldn't have this new website if not for Cosign and Dave, who have been hard at work on this for months. And Dave was new to the league, and we only got these guys because we just put an ask out there that we needed some help, that we were changing things about our board and staff structure, and that we were trying to change some things about the league and improve in areas where we can, and stepped up. And that's kind of how this whole community has functioned. And part of why I admire it so much is it's entirely built upon people making the choice to step up. And that's what I'm doing here also. I'm making the choice to step up and make this as enjoyable of a competitive Hyperdash community as I possibly can. I'm frankly pretty honored to be in this position and see where things go from here.
Yeah. So, and I mean, I have great confidence in you that you'll be able to achieve what you set out. Why don't you talk a little bit about some of the new board members and what they're heading up? Like, who's the team around you, and how are they helping you out?
Absolutely. So, in terms of the people stepping up, a lot of these new board members we also got on because we went out and just asked for help. It was partially like a privately messaging people that I knew and had connections with, or that other board members had known. But between me, Lazarus, Raider, Willow, Axion, Universal, Heis, also Heis going to be kind of the grandfather of the board membership at this point.
Old man highs.
All of us have been hard at work together in trying to run the board. And one thing that I've really focused on, or tried to get us to focus on as a commissioner, is trying to delegate more and essentially have a board member for each general area of league running. That's something I've been really trying to harp on, and has found that that ends up in a little bit better results from a administrative standpoint. And so I'm looking forward to continuing that. And still, as I mentioned this, that we're having some good success so far. We still can always use all the help that we can get. If somebody sees in areas where their talents might be helpful, but they're not sure if they'd be accepted, just go ahead and ask, make a ticket about it, and we'll see what happens. That's how many of the people who are currently on the Dash League staff started out, was just reaching out and making the choice to step up, as all of these people on the board have.
Yep. Laz, as a member of the board, do you have anything to say about the new board? Anything you think Gollum should touch on and at all?
Yeah, so hi, Kat. I know. But first of all, before I start, is yes, I know my quality is bad. I did not know a mariachi band would be playing for 12 hours a day. That was my bad. I will try to do better, and I'm deeply sorry. But to kind of talk a bit about like what this new board is to kind of talk about like a little bit about how season 8 went in season 7. Is I think season 7 and 8 were kind of like I don't know what you would describe it, Lap, but it's kind of like an end of an era. Right? I mean, you've been running it for like 4 years.
Mhm.
Yeah, conservatively.
Yeah,
The
this
dev
is definitely a new end of an era is a good way to say it. This is a new era for Dash League. That's a good way to put it. Agreed.
right, and especially because like I've one of the kind of unique things about this league is a lot of people are like very new to esports. Like I know you hadn't played in like 20 years. I'm pretty sure it was Golem's first thing, but I've played in a lot of esports over the years, and usually they last about like 6 months after the devs stop making regular new content and doing new things. And this league has gone on for about 2.5 years. Past when they were adding new maps and specifically catering to the competitive community. So kind of we took an extended off season as well. We took an extra month. Is like, what is Dash League going to be in the future? So Galumbo, what do you think would be the right word? Shut up, cat.
Hmm.
Is like, where do you see Dash League being in the year? Like, where's the kind of destination we're headed to?
That's, that's kind of a difficult question to answer, but that is just the right question to be asking right now to give my politician sort of answer to that question. But Dash League, something that of all people, Odd Leviathan mentioned is that this league and this community has such a for its size, unprecedented concentration of talent and passion that I feel this league could be an example to other competitive VR leagues of what a league should look like, what a community-based league could and should look like. And the way that this next season is going to shape up in partnership with VRML, a considerably larger organization with a diverse array of games under its umbrella and leagues under its umbrella, rather. I think that'll be a great direction to try and drive attention, both towards our league, but also towards how this whole VR esports community as a whole on a grand scale can be run, can work together, can be a fun and engaging environment for as many people as possible. Since we're no longer in COVID, we're no longer all inside all the time. The peak of new people getting into VR has kind of dipped. And I feel that it's important to acknowledge that, both in our specific game, our specific league, but also in how that plays into the greater VR community space. And working with that in mind on our own league and also on any partnerships that we begin the foundations of, as we are doing with VRML now, is the direction that we're going to be focusing on.
So let's get it. And I want to mention real quick, every once in a while, you'll hear some voices or some music come through Laz's mic. He is literally across a wall from a band playing at a party or something like that. So
But
every
he
once in a
was
while, a
not
little
kidding
peek through.
about that 10 hours
Yeah,
of
yeah,
Mariachi band.
all day. But let's get into that. Let's talk a little bit about let's talk about season 9. You know, we just announced the start date. Talk about any important dates or anything like that with season 9, but also what we're going to be doing with VRML in terms of season 9. It's my understanding that we're just sort of in early partnership with VRML.
Yes.
VRML is not,
Right.
you know, they haven't taken control of Dash League or anything like that. It's mostly a cross promotional thing to sort of feel each other out and see how we can benefit each other. But yeah, speak on those things a little bit. Season 9 and VRML's role in season 9 with us.
Exactly. When you mention the non-absorbative, let me just get some fancy words out there, non-absorbative nature of this partnership. It's important, I think, to emphasize we have a merch store with links coming out soon. We have a Ko-Fi donation page. All of these things are still Dash League specific, but a lot of what this partnership for now is going to be focusing on is cross promotion, as you mentioned, and trying to share ideas and collaborate in that way that I mentioned earlier that can benefit the competitive VR space as a whole, not just one league in specific. And based on how this partnership goes, how it develops through time, and how Dash League can kind of fit into the greater league community that VRML has been so hard at work setting up over these years, we can determine what the next step forward is going to be. So far, VRML has agreed to work with us for the finals of Dasher, which is very, very exciting. We're already in the process of getting that set up towards the end of season. And we're still in active communication with many of the VRML representatives, including Nightfire, about the nature of this partnership. And yeah, I mean, even just taking this step is a very exciting thing to be a part of and to be spearheading as the league commissioner. But that's kind of where we're at this point in the process, at least so far as I am allowed to disclose.
So when is season 9 starting? And if you want to talk about the registration process for teams a little bit, as far as we know at this moment, I know the website's being worked on.
Sure, sure. So this is where a confluence of a lot of the large projects and discussions that have been in the works for a while really come together. Is the start of season 9 on February 17th. Registration for new teams is currently open on the website. We already have several, I think, 4 completely new teams that have registered on the site, with more on their way. Possibly some teams coming back, and that is in large part because of this new development on the website. I mentioned with the administrative aspect of myself as commissioner, a large focus of mine and of the rest of my fellow board members is to try and make things clearer for ourselves in communication and for the community in terms of what to do, what's expected of us and of them, but also making the process for signing up on the website or organizing matches. All of these things we're hoping to make a lot easier and more straightforward through this new website. And Dave also is in the process of working on a Discord bot, which may not come out before the start date of the season, but if it all comes together, would be working alongside our new website to make scheduling matches easier and more clear. Negotiations hopefully should be more straightforward. And really, the big point that I want to emphasize is while we're in this process, this new website is quite impressive, but it is new. That's the point that people need to keep in mind. It's new, and changes are still happening. And so if you have an issue, make a ticket if you're on the Discord, or and rather Dave will be able to help you out, our lead web designer. But yeah, that's kind of
I do want to say Dave's Discord bot will automatically ban anyone that says anything mean about me. So you guys better watch
exactly
yourselves.
right.
Yeah.
That is also going to make things easier, more clear cut. We don't have to be searching through for lat hate anymore. It'll just happen.
Yeah, because that's pretty much what 90% of the board time was spent, just going through Discord, looking for mean messages to lat, so that we could ban people outright.
Oh, of course.
February 17th start date for season 9, Gollum. I know the commissioner needs a lot of love because it's a hard job. So I will be your Valentine. You're welcome.
Thank you.
And before we move on, Goose, Lobster, you guys have anything to ask Gollum, or any questions you have about anything coming up? Okay, no questions.
Well, okay. What, Gollum, what are you most excited for this season as new commissioner?
Man, oh man. I'm looking forward to. I mean, I pretty much am always looking forward to how our casting is going to go, since that's one of our big highlights as a league is the number of games that get casted, and the comparative quality of our casts is so much higher than many other VR esports leagues, at least that I know of. And even still, every single season, I'm excited by the things, the graphics, and the people who sign up to do casting and commentary. I'm excited to see all of these things released to the public for everybody else in the league or even outside of the league potentially to enjoy. That's probably one of the top things on my list, as it has been for many previous seasons as well.
While we're on the subject of casting, casting is such a huge part of what Dash League does and what makes us interesting and makes us stand out.
Absolutely.
That I think it's a big driver for a lot of the passion we see in our players. I mean, it's huge to know that you're going to play a match and be able to watch yourself later, let your friends and family watch, and be able to show it off and that sort of stuff. It's amazing. But Goose, as one of our lead casters, I think Goose and Willow together do the most work as far as the making our casting apparatus as great as it is. But Goose, do you have anything on the horizon? Anything new with cast that you want to talk about?
I don't know if I want to fully
Got any
spill the
secrets
beans.
you want to spill?
Yeah.
I don't know if I
Maybe
want to
it's-
fully
How
spill
about
the
one
beans, but
single bean? A single bean.
One bean.
one bean. All right.
Drop a bean.
So there is going to be some sound effects that are going to be included into casts going forward, and I think they're going to add a lot to the environment and make people feel like they're a part of the game. So I think that'll be really cool going forward. More beans will be spilled. Actually, you'll be able to see all the beans at the tournament because I'm casting that tournament.
Mm-hmm.
So the beans will be spilled then.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
Be on the lookout for that.
Yeah.
Speaking of the tournament, this is where you segue.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, Gollum, you gonna stick around for us for the show, or you got to go?
Unfortunately, I do have to go. I do want to say one more thing to be looking forward to is all things going according to plan, which so far it seems like they will be. We are planning to use MMR once again for the next season. No more rank point system, manual, Excel sheet calculations like we did last season. It seemed like it worked okay. But I know that at least for some people in the community, that is going to be a bit of a relief or a point of excitement even to be hearing. So I just wanted to throw that one out there.
Yep. Very cool. Well, we will say farewell, Gollum.
Thanks for coming on.
Farewell, Gollum. All
Goodbye.
right. Goodbye.
All right. All right then. So we are gonna move on. Okay, he's gone. What a son of a bitch, that Gollum guy. My God. Unbelievable. No, I love Gollum. I'm just playing. We're going to move on. We have 2 new regular cast members for DashCast. Laz was on with us a few times in the first season of DashCast, especially when we were talking about playoffs and all that sort of stuff. So he's familiar with the process here. LobsterMaster is new. This is Lobster's first episode with us. And let's start with Lobster. I want to do a little introduction, let these 2 talk a little bit, and I want to give them the same, foundational interview questions that we've so far given all of our interviewees, which are: Lobster, tell us how you came to be named LobsterMaster. Then also tell us how you found Dash League. What was your process to find your way into the league here?
So, starting off with the name, originally I had one other name, and that was my Xbox username that I played for One Abyss. That's it. No other name changes. LobsterMaster has been it for my entire however long career. But I was watching some YouTube. Okay, Brady Brandwood. Great channel. But there was a video that just came out that I watched. They took a grocery store lobster and had them as a pet. And somewhere in my brain, it just cooked up as the fantastic name it is now.
So they
Then-
walked this lobster through the grocery store.
I bought a lobster, kept him as a pet.
I love that.
See, all this
Yeah.
time I was thinking that you typoed loser master and just kept the typo.
Well, I thought that maybe it was like something to do with like lobster fishing. Like you're out there in the Alaskan or whatever. Oh wait, that's crab.
Maine is what you're thinking of.
Yes.
That would make good sense.
Yeah, it
How
would,
about
but
the,
no.
but no. How and how'd you find Dashley? What was the process that landed
Or
you
find
here?
Dash Lake. So basically, I was just I got my Quest 2, and pretty boring. I didn't have any games, and I was looking at maybe like some ping pong table tennis game, and then out of the blue, it appeared as you might also like Hyperdash, and then seemed interesting. I got it, immediately hooked.
Right. So
Um,
that was getting you into Hyperdash. How'd you?
That's how I got into
What,
Hyperdash. And then Dash League
yeah.
specifically,
hmm
um, this is a kind of long story. So there was a team a while ago that was basically just a bunch of pub players, and then I was like, huh, that seems kind of cool. So I put on their tag and then joined them. And then couple weeks went by, and then eventually one of them got a Discord server together for that team, and then I um, eventually joined that after some um, a little bit of waiting to get Discord, and then from there I was introduced to Dash League through that person.
What was that original team? Because it wasn't Rook. You started Rook. I think you were in a
No,
season before. Was it Thieves? What was the team that you were
it was
on?
It was Knight,
capped.
right?
It was capped. CAPT.
Capped?
Captain.
Ah.
Yeah, you wouldn't get it.
All right. So I guess a team that didn't end up in the league, but you
Didn't
sort of
end
found
up
your
in the
way
league.
through. Yeah.
It kind of fizzled out after a bit.
Yeah. All right. Well, that is Lobster's back. Let's hear Spazarus' story. Laz, how'd you come up with your name? How'd you find the league?
So I'm a very old man. I'm 20. But so when I was like 7, is you know how when you make a Gmail, it gives you like auto suggested names?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like yeah, yeah. And so
Yeah.
for like the ages of 7 to 14, is I went by Purple Squid.
Ooh, purple squid. I like it
And
more.
when I turned 13, is I was like, that sucks. I'm 13. I'm the coolest shit ever. We need to find something better. And so I'm a big David Bowie fan. His last album that came out, I think it actually came out after he died. Kind of morbid, but is it has a song in there called Lazarus, and that's why I picked the name. Is there any other part of that question, or is that it?
I think that's it. But I thought you were about to say that the Gmail suggested name was Lazarus, and you're just like, sure, that one. Let's go with that. I
Yeah,
was going to be
No, no,
so
no,
that
no,
was so much better.
no,
upset.
no, no.
No, I guess that covers that. How'd you find the league? How'd you find Hyperdash and then find your way into the league?
So I was a super early adopter. I bought the Quest 1, which like basically nobody bought. Is especially like it's still bad nowadays, but especially in 2020, is like there just really weren't any good VR games. And if they were, it'd be like $20 and it would maybe be like an hour worth of content, right? Is it was mostly indie developers. There was no real like big names in the space or doing anything. So I was broke. I was 15, and I found it on SideQuest, which is so for Oculus is they have their oh my god, I'm tired. But so for Oculus, they actually have pretty strict standards about what can go on their platform and what can't. And there's certain regulations and all that. So for there's this thing called SideQuest. I don't know if it still goes on today, but is at the time Hyperdash was the number one free game for SideQuest. And so I just downloaded it off there and I started playing like 2020. I played it for a couple months. I sucked at it. Um and then I quit the game for about like 7 or 8 months. I think I had like 40 or 50 levels. And then I got a Quest 2 in the winter of that year. And then I started playing again with Dash League.
How'd you find Dash League though? Who introduced you, or did you stumble upon it on
Oh,
yourself?
they're a
Yeah.
very old name. They don't play like anymore. But USPS or USPIS or SPUSU.
Oh, Uspis. I miss Uspis so much. Yeah.
Yeah. So I met her in the lobby, and she got me on her team for Fire for season 2 of Dash League, which was 4 years ago. And yeah, from that I've been pretty involved in League.
Very cool. So while we're talking to Laz, why don't you just transition us into talking about the power tournament coming up?
For sure. So we'll kind of give a little bit of backstory behind why we're doing this tournament. Is we took a pretty long off season compared to normal. I think it was like 4 or 5 months, and so we had a lot of stuff to launch. And because we had taken the holidays off, I believe the predicted start time would have been end of January, and we realized that like, especially with the new website and what everybody was doing, we had the website, we had the merch store, we had the Ko-fi, we had the VRML stuff, which has been going on for months. Is like we needed time to announce stuff and get it integrated into the community. So we made the decision to push back the season by a month. And so part of it would like one give something people to play because you're pushing it back a season. And then also to drum up some of the hype for the merch store, the Ko-fi, VRML. Is we thought of like, what if we just did a tournament? Like it's a weekend, it's supposed to be super casual, it's a low time commitment. And that's when we came up with the idea for the weekend power tournament. I know Lat doesn't like the name. But
Well, I know that the name took you guys a month and a half to come up with, so I guess it is.
It took us 4 days. Well, it was so when I was like, we were in a board meeting, I was like, what if we did like a weekend power tournament, and then that became the name, and it never got changed. But so yeah, I mean, a lot of it's kind of like it's first of all, I think a lot of the fun of this tournament will be is you've run tournaments in the past before that. It's like they tend to drag on a while, right? It's like it'll be like these 5 or 6 hour slogs. Especially like it'll be like 6 hours over like 2 or 3 days. I don't know if you remember the Abyss tournament and all that.
Yeah.
And so kind of the main goal of this tournament is we want it to be super fast. Well, it's gonna be 6 hours. It won't be fast over 2 days, but it'll be like more timely. The goal is to be running like 1 map per game. And also kind of the big thing is we're launching the merch store with it. And so only for that weekend, by the way, is for the merch that we're launching, you'll get 10% off on anything you buy if you get the code on screen. So I know Goose isn't competing in the tournament because he's casting it. But Lobster and Lat, you guys found teams yet, or what's your deal with that? What are you thinking about it?
Lobster, you go ahead.
I did not find a team. I didn't put any effort into trying to. I saw Virtual Vega had made a team that was absolutely stacked, and I was just like, that's not worth it. Plus, I don't usually play in those
hey, you know what,
tournaments
though?
anyway.
If you want to join a team, I'm pretty sure they're putting together, Laz, aren't you guys putting together like a spreadsheet of like people if they want to join a team that don't have one yet? Or is that somebody else?
We can
okay. Okay, good.
Somebody on the board is doing it. I'm not doing it.
Okay, good.
But
I just wanted to make sure I wasn't just talking out of my goose butt here.
As you so often do.
Yeah.
I'm on a team currently. We haven't picked a name or captain or anything like that yet, but just a bunch of veterans who are just like, hey, what are you doing? And so sort of put it together. Right now, I don't know. Who cares? I'll just say who's on the team. I don't guess it matters. Right now, it's me, Mr. Soap, Snarples, Saint, Toshiro, and Hodge. We got 1 spot open. Lobster, you want a team? Recruiting right now on a team.
Recruiting.
I don't think I qualify for
all the old men.
Yeah.
I don't know how old Toshiro is, and Saint is what? Saint is like mid-20s. Everyone else is 30 plus, I believe. But yeah, those are good guys though, so it'll be fun. What's that, Lobster?
Not the veteran type you're recruiting, but we'll see.
Well, as far as veteran in the league goes, what is this now, Lobster? This is going to be your 4th season.
My 4th season, yeah.
Nice.
4th season, yeah. That's a veteran in my
I joined
book.
pretty late in comparison.
Yeah, but I feel once you've had like once you're on your third season, I consider that veteran. You've been it's like 2 seasons are in a year. So when you're starting on your third season, you've been in the league for a year. You know the ropes, how things work. So that counts for me. So anything else you want to say about the tournament, Laz? When does registration open again?
So it actually opened yesterday night, or
Yesterday.
actually
Okay.
Friday night. Sorry, but it opened Friday. There's a Google form out. We'll probably end up reposting it a couple times because it's kind of gotten buried by a lot of the other cool stuff we've been doing. But you still have until Thursday to get together a team and register. So still a lot of time to put together a team. Yeah.
Well, I was just going to say one thing I'm excited about for this tournament is there is going to be some town time that we can kind of have some commentary in the booth, and we can kind of just talk in between matches. I think that's going to be exciting too, and you'll get to see firsthand what some of the merch looks like, and we'll have the Ko-Fi ad running that I made.
Yes, I know everybody listening is excited to watch our many advertisements we're going to be playing during it. But
Hooray!
But I guess kind of the one other big thing is that this tournament has a prize, and unlike a lot of other tournaments where it's just kind of like in-game credits, which there actually are really cool. But like, if you've been playing for a couple years, it's like, what are you going to spend the credits on? Is actually for anybody that wins the tournament, we'll be giving out these 3D printed pistols that are made by our lovely board member Willow, and will be sent out to you free of charge. So,
they're very cool. They're very cool. They are life
very cool.
size.
I did
Oh, yeah,
get
you know
a
them.
3D printed rocket a bit ago, and I can attest that they are very high quality and very nice looking.
Yeah, I got a couple of the pistols. Willow did a great job on those.
Sure. And also like with the pistol it comes with a stand and some other stuff. So it's not like just a pistol you have to stick on your wall or something, but it can look nice in a desk or anywhere. But yeah, so that's gonna be happening this next Saturday. 25th and 26th from 3 ET to 6 ET.
So we're gonna move on now we're gonna try to get Blister in here. We'll see if Blister's available to come in and talk DLU. But I just DM'd him see if he'll reply. So why don't we just talk about merch and Ko-Fi first, and if Blister comes around, then we'll do that. First, I want to get it established. Laz is. Oh wait, that's Blister. Hold on one sec. Okay, Blister's here. So let's save merch and Ko-Fi. Let's go over DLU right now. Where is Blister? Let me drag him in here. Blister, hello, good friend.
Hello.
By the way, you're on air, just so you know.
Yeah, you are being recorded.
You are live,
Hello,
being beamed
everybody.
out to 70 countries as we speak.
Good to know.
So, Blister, we're sort of most of the way through with our season 2, episode 1 DASHCAST, and we wanted to take a moment to talk a little bit about Dash League University. I know you just had the town hall and all that. So, has that town hall recording been posted up? Can people go listen to that yet?
It has not.
Listen for Goose. It will be soon, winkety wink. So yeah, everybody should go check that out once it's up.
For the people that are here, that probably have not listened to it, also it's probably gonna be like an hour long. Could you give like a little bit of a summary, like a dollar store pitch on what Dash League University is and how you came to make it?
Yes, please give us a
course.
summary.
Yeah, so we realized that 3v3 was not exactly working out. The beginners league for Dash League, we had our own league. It was 3v3. We had teams with smaller roster sizes. It was not working out exactly as we were hoping because we really wanted to grow the 5v5 Dash League to make a bigger community, have more fun in it, and all that good stuff. And that was not doing exactly what we were hoping for. So we decided that it was time for a bit of a remodel, a revamp. So we came out with Dash League University, or DLU. It is essentially a clan server that replaces 3v3. and it's the same spot for the same type of community stuff. So we'll still have plenty of open chats, plenty of shenanigans going on. And it will keep the same type of training resources. Like it'll have plenty of write-ups about all the maps and all that good stuff. We will still be hosting training lobbies. We've got one coming up soon, and we will hopefully be trying to put them up weekly. We will be doing some footage reviews in there where we look over the footage from those training lobbies and all that stuff. And we will also be hosting some little mini tournaments for Dash League University people. Those will be, fun. They've got their little gimmicks. Some will be restricted to Dash League affiliated teams, which I'll talk about in a second. And some of them are open to anybody. And the thing about this community is that it's really open to absolutely anyone. We're hoping to get a lot of people from the awesome VRML collab for playoffs that we've got going on. We're looking to get many people from pubs just out in the Hyperdash world. People from the 4v4 league who want to, really get into the fun 5v5 type of stuff. And anybody who wants to join. So yeah, those affiliated teams that I was talking about are just teams that want to put it out there that they are in DLU and that they are the ones really committed to learning a lot more about Hyperdash, to learning a lot more about Dash League, and really committed to climbing those ranks. So yeah, those teams they'll have first priority for any of those lobbies, for any of those training resources, and they're just a good time to scrim each other. We'll help out with that. We'll give some tips mid scrims, all that type of good stuff. And yeah, it's just a new place. We've got lots of people already in the server, and the last thing that we need to address is the mascot challenge that we've got going on. So we are open for any mascot ideas. If anybody has any ideas for what the mascot of Dash League University should be.
What was the one that you came up with? Post Dash?
Yes, the Post Dasher.
That was pretty good.
Someone with terrible lag.
No, I think it's much funnier if the mascot's name is just Post Dash instead of calling him the Post Dasher. Like that's hilarious. His name is
The
Post
concept
Dash.
of post dashing.
Yeah.
It's an ephemeral, like the concept of death. It's ever looming, ever present,
Sort of kind of like
can strike at any
Noid,
moment.
from Domino's.
Mm-hmm.
Old mascot there. Yeah, just
So
Well, I'm
Blister-
imagining like the Noid.
Blister, I do have a question about DLU. So these teams that are associated, so they're starting off in Walker. Are they able to jump? I guess it depends on how the season is structured.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So if it is going to be the fully open season format like we've had for a couple seasons, yeah, we absolutely hope that these teams will be heading up into Sprinter and even up to Dasher. That'd be awesome if some of our teams can get there. But if it's the locked format, then they will be following the format just like any of the other teams in Walker tier, Sprinter tier, Dasher. And if they do eventually climb the ranks, then that's just more the merrier. That'll be awesome. We will probably have some teams that stick around in Walker tier, and I'm sure we'll get some teams up into Sprinter. And until roster lock, really, we can move our players around these teams however they want. If they're looking for a little bit more competition, they can head up to one of our Sprinter teams. And if they're looking for a little less commitment or a little less pressure, they can head down to one of the Walker tier teams. But yeah, we absolutely want our teams to climb the ranks and just have more fun in the higher intensity games.
I mean, if you take the best players that 3v3 has produced and put them together, you could create a Dasher team. So it's for
Absolutely.
sure these teams they'll it's like any season we'll start any team of new players or people we aren't familiar with, whatever. We'll start a team full of those type of people in Walker. And there's been multiple seasons now where teams starting in Walker end up winning the Sprinter championship. Loop did that in their first season. Who was the other two that did that right after us? Was
Iron?
it no?
Iron. It was.
Oh, Iron.
New Fork?
Yeah. I thought you said Fire, but yeah, Iron.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's definitely doable.
Absolutely.
But yeah, the teams bouncing from tier to tier, that all depends on our structure. If it's locked tiers, if we end up having
I
to
can
do
talk
locked
about that
tiers, then
structure
no,
actually, because we
yeah,
had
yeah,
a board meeting yesterday.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. So
fresh off the press.
So as was mentioned earlier in the cast, is we are hoping to use MMR this season. We have people working on a new one. Hopefully it'll be ready by then. If not, we have some stuff working as planned, like alternatives. But the goal is to go back to a fluid tier MMR formula, so teams will be able to climb freely and they could go based on the win and loss record and how much they
Very
won
cool.
left.
Very good.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Blister, for interrupting your important thing. Go on.
All good. That was like a breaking news segment. That was awesome.
I'll add some graphics in there. Breaking news.
Awesome.
Now, Blister, I do have another question for you.
Of course. Yeah.
Are you, is Dash League University going to be more of a player-focused or a team-focused sort of community, or is it going to be a little bit of both?
Yeah, so that's a really good question. It kind of depends on the player. So if they are in one of those affiliated teams, then we want to make sure that they are playing with their teams as much as possible, really making sure that they have good communication with their teams, good meshing, all that good stuff. But if you're a player that's not in DLU, on a different team in Dash League, on a different Walker tier team, or not in any of that stuff, we really want to make sure that everything is open to those players, and that's really where we want to shift over to that single player focus, and make sure that player is getting the support that they want, and the training that they want. And all that kind of stuff. So it really depends on what the player wants, and it also depends on like what kind of team they're already working with.
Fantastic.
Very cool. So I will say, Blister, we could probably do as a little bit of incentive for people to submit. Let me ask you, for the mascot contest, are you looking for people to submit an image of a mascot? Or are you just looking for them to like, okay, here's my concept of a mascot and submit that, and then we'll make that into a mascot later? Like, what are they doing to participate?
Yeah, it'll mostly be the concept, but if they want to throw together a very quick draft of what they want the mascot to look like, either in a quick little drawing or a very temporary AI image, we'd be accepting all that kind of good stuff. I do say temporary because, we don't want AI to take over our Dash League. So I know that we've got a lot of really great graphic designers who might want to help out with the mascot kind of stuff. Goose.
I would say
unrelated.
if it is working sort of as a contest, and especially if like one person, like if it's a one person that comes up with, here's the concept and that's what you guys run with, or even better if they submit the visual draft of what the mascot would look like, all that sort of stuff, we could for sure, like, whoever does that, send them a sticker pack or something like that, some sort of incentive for their idea winning out, maybe a 3D print gun themselves.
Yeah, well,
I don't know.
funny you say that, actually, because in our server, we've got 2 booths so far, so we've got 98 emoji slots left for our server. So first of all, we're going to certainly add quite a few emojis of our mascot, having a good time. And also, we would certainly be open for that player to add one of their own emojis, of course vetted by us, if they want to add that to the main server. So far, our emojis consist of a short GIF of somebody getting post-dashed, and the other one is mainly fueled by corruption, so it's a picture of my dog.
I'm going to have to ask that you add at least 10 emojis of pin-up as foundational emojis for your server.
Wow,
you just cut out. You just
Yeah, I
cut
think
out.
that's fine.
I was just making a dumb
do that.
joke anyway, so whatever.
I think you were censored, Lat.
Yeah, you were censored by the man.
Censored by my own, sir.
Blister, what powers do you hold?
Oh, you've got no idea.
Well, Blister, I want to say, since we're talking about this DLU thing, you were one of the original admins I picked for helping me run the 3v3 thing, and you far and away have done the most for it, and you seem to have a real passion for it, and you were absolutely the right pick to run that thing. And so I just want to say thanks, man. You've done a lot of good work on that, and it means a lot.
Of course, I thank you very much. I want to make sure that our new players are getting the biggest head start that they can, and I also want to shift some of that thanks over to the newest team of professors that I've created and gotten together for the Dash League University. They've been doing a lot of really, really good work so far, helping out a lot, and I want to give a thanks over to them as well.
Yeah, that makes sense because when I first met you, you were going around seeking out one on Bandit against players that you knew you wouldn't win against, and so we did a 1v1, and you actually did fantastic. You did very well, and I was like, man, this guy is new, and I knew you would develop really well. But when you started, you had a desire to improve and get trained and that sort of stuff. So you being in this sort of position, usher in new players is, I think, a good spot for you.
Oh yeah, I'm having a great time, and one of my players from 3v3 in the first season when I was a coach, even before I was a admin, we had a 1v1 last night, and it was some of the most fun in Hyperdash I've ever had. So, I encourage all of those that are listening.
Who was it and who won?
Oh, I won, but I certainly ran out of dash and fell in the water a couple times. So, that's how it rolls.
Yeah. Who'd you play against?
King Ryan, man. We had a great
King
time.
Ryan. Okay.
So yeah, I want to encourage anybody to go out and 1v1 their former mentor. It's a really fun time to see how much they've grown, and it really is very rewarding to see how much your own students have grown and all that good stuff.
Yeah, I will say to anyone out there listening, as you play pubs and that, you see players and all that, and you want to sort of encourage them towards Dash League. First off, we need to do a better job of getting more ad space up. We have more ad space in game, the posters and stuff that the devs will let us use, but it's just kind of slacked. So we'll do better about getting that stuff up. But most of the time, we're going to have a poster in the lobby where you can point to people. Hey, here's our Discord join link. Come join the Discord, get to know people, whatever. But now that we have DLU, and it's always been, and if you talk to like the 3v3 players about, why'd you join 3v3 and you didn't go to 5v5, a lot of them will say, well, I didn't think I was good enough for 5v5 because I'll play in a pub and I'll see someone with some tag on and they're just stomping and whatever. So I just assume everyone is pro in the league. And a lot of people don't realize that we take people of all skill levels. So if you're trying to encourage someone to come join Dash League, you can point them towards Dash League University. Just sort of tell them, hey, this is, you can join the league and get some training, and we accept people of all skill levels, whatever. So you can send people towards. We'll have a Discord link up for DLU in some of the ads and stuff too. So you can point them to the Discord link. You could tell them to go harass Blister in DMs or Goose. Goose is also a DLU admin.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, but just help us out as you're out in pubs and stuff. Let me turn my alarm off. Let us let people know that they can, that they can dip their toes into competitive play without getting absolutely obliterated, and dip their toes in while getting their hand held a little bit on how to improve as a player and that sort of stuff. But yeah, I guess that wraps it for DLU talk. Blister, thanks for stopping by, man.
Of course. Yeah, everybody go join that server. It's new. It's small. It'll be fun. You might be able to add some emojis.
We'll put a link in the description of this video too, so you can click onto it.
Awesome. Alrighty. Thank you guys so much.
All right. Thanks.
All right. Thanks, Blister. Peace.
Bye-bye.
All right. So last thing we wanted to talk about was merch store and Ko-Fi stuff. And what I want to establish here first is I've been saying Ko-Fi Laz has been saying Kofi. I think it's honestly, I think it's supposed to be pronounced coffee because it's like buy me a coffee.
Yeah.
Is my guess. So what is the
Probably
official?
coffee.
Well,
Yeah,
that's why it's called the Kofi.
the Kofi. Anyway, I'm gonna call
Kofi.
it whatever the hell I want to call it.
You want to
But
get
Laz-
like a
I-
strong, like Eastern European accent, like the Kofi.
Coffee.
See, I made
Let-
I made a little video like ad for it, and I totally pronounced it Ko-Fi. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
the way they spell it like on their site is KO-FI, so it looks like Ko-Fi.
Yeah.
But I'm sure
just
it's supposed to be coffee.
just abbreviate it. Say KOFI. Yeah.
Go the long way
KOFI.
around.
No, that's four
KOFI.
syllables compared to two. I refuse.
It's
Absolutely.
fine. You'll get over it.
Laz, you want to talk about the coffee for a bit? What's going on with that?
For sure. So, most online run things tend to have a little bit of a crowdsource component to it. The nature of everything being online is that it's very easy to do anything or to set anything up or get a large audience or you get access to a lot of things, but the hard truth of the matter is that you often need money to run certain things or to do basically anything more than just talking to people online. So we have a lot of cool stuff we're doing, like we are giving out those 3D pencils for the tournament. The website has an associated monthly cost that we have to pay every month. But basically the general pitch of the Kofi is that Dash League needs money to function. And so we're trying to make a fun way to crowdfund. I know in the past, Lat, is we've had like remember when Fathead did that PayPal for prize pool donations?
Yep.
And so we're kind of just doing a modern take on that to help fund all the cool stuff we do at the league. And Gollum had mentioned earlier, but we also have some other stuff that we can't announce publicly, but we're doing those too. And those require funds to be super honest. So we've added this Kofi. It's a super easy way. You can pay with any of the major credit cards, any banking thing you can do. It also accepts PayPal if you're international. But it's basically a way to help us support the league, run stuff like we do with Goose or with the website like Dave. And so kind of to make it more fun is we're going to be adding some perks. And so anybody in the Discord that donates, so you can, this is kind of another thing with the Kofi, is that you can either do one-time donations or you could support monthly, kind of like a membership. So we'll talk about the one-time supporter thing. So when you donate, is a couple of things. Is on the website, you'll be added to a donor page. On the Discord, you'll be given a role, which is like you're super cool, and you'll also be given a chat. And I think the coolest thing is that when you do donate, is you can write out a message and it'll actually pop up on the cast and will show up on the YouTube stream. So you can tell Goose in real time that he does suck,
Mm-hmm.
which I think is the most important part of this Kofi.
Please do.
Vital.
Please do. I will
But
read
yeah,
that.
that's kind
I
of-
will read that on the air. If somebody says I suck on air, I will just be like, and Goose sucks.
Oh yeah, and Goose will be reading out all the messages too, so you can make
Yes.
him say whatever you want.
Yes, if you
If
If you want to get him
Burgundy.
fired from his job, I mean, he'll do it for the cause. But
Exceptions apply.
Go fuck yourself,
we
San
have a
Diego.
couple exceptions. But
You get
if
there's
Yeah.
terms and conditions. Yeah.
Right. But so yeah, that's kind of the dollar store pitch on the Kofi. Yeah. You want to head over to the merch store, which I think is a lot cooler than
what's the
Labels
other
Kofi.
two tiers? What's the other two tiers? You said
Oh yeah, there are other two tiers.
Wow.
So we talked about one-time donations. Let's talk a little bit about memberships. So there will be a graphic appearing on the screen. I will give it to Goose later. But so to kind of dive into like what that website page means is if you donate to the $5, $10, or $25 tiers, is you'll be added to this website page and you'll be given a badge. The longer you stay subscribed, the badge will level up over time. It'll become fancier and shoot rockets or whatever.
ooh.
But so it's kind of the basic, like if you subscribe, it'll be bronze, silver, and gold. But talk about the benefits for the silver and gold tiers are, for one, silver is out on every live stream, you'll get a shout out from Goose. or any of the casters. I'm just saying Goose is the placeholder. And then for the gold tier, is once a season, we will be making you a personalized Dash League t-shirt that we'll be sending out to you. That'll have your name on it and all that jazz. We do plan to add more tiers, so if you have suggestions of like cool things we could do as like a reward for subscribing or donating, please let us know. But for the basic launch of the Ko-fi, that's kind of what we're running with.
Very cool,
Awesome.
very cool. And of course, like Laz says, it costs money to run the league for the various subscriptions for things, website, that sort of stuff. But also, like to create the stickers and 3D prints and all the swag and stuff we do, that costs money. Putting together stuff for prize pools, that costs money. So you guys, we used to get some budget from the devs. That budget is now zero from the devs, so we all have to be self-funded. So we definitely need your help to try and get back to the funding we used to have, hopefully, at least. And so Ko-Fi will help us out with that. Also, the merch store will help us with that. Merch store is the merch store and the coffee are going to be announced next week in conjunction with the power tournament. And so be looking for that announcement. But as far as the merch store goes, I've been working on that for a year and a half. Kind of had to learn how to use Photoshop. Our base store is Printful, where we get the products from, and then we port those over to sell them on Shopify. And so I had to learn how to use Printful, had to learn how to use Shopify, and I'm not a technical person. I basically had to learn how to. There was no coding involved, but I had to learn how to put a website together for the merch store. So that's what has taken so long with all of this, is me having to learn all this. There have been at least 2 times, maybe 3, where as I was going through something, like putting logos on, like one of the things was putting logos on products on Printful, and then learning a new trick in Photoshop and learning how to make the logos so much better. And so then starting completely over from scratch to redo everything. And that has happened 2 or 3 times. And you guys have your logos and stuff, but a lot of them have parts of the logo that are low res that I want to doctor up a little bit, or something needs to be adjusted here and there, or especially logos with a bunch of glow on them.
Yeah.
Semi-transparent colors. Those don't print well, so I had to go in and try to Limbo's logo is by far the most challenging. I have no idea how that's going to print out on shirts or anything Limbo, so be prepared. By the way, I will say if something is not printing out well, all I can see are mock-ups on on my laptop screen, which those are just taking a digital photo of a T-shirt or something, and then taking the digital photo of the logo. It doesn't show you what it's actually going to look like in print. So if there are issues with things that are being bought at all, let me know about that, so we can come up with some solution.
Right. So make it ticket would be the easiest way to do it. But also something to kind of add is a bit of an addendum to it. Is both Lateralus and Gollum have both bought. I know Gollum has bought some stuff. I know you've bought a bit more of that.
Oh yeah.
Is so kind of like we have bought the product. It looks good to us, but there is a lot of stuff on that site, right, Lat? I mean, like probably hundreds of items.
Yeah, and I'm going to be adding more. I've mostly just done, as far as team stuff goes so far, it's just basic stuff. There's a hat, there's a beanie, there's a shirt, there's a hoodie. We'll add more stuff as time goes on. I wanted to pretty much just get like the basic stuff out so we can start. And as time goes on, we'll have more things going on. I'll come up with more designs, like custom designs, unique stuff to put on or whatever. I'll also hopefully get some help on the website. Some other people help me out so we can pump some stuff out a little bit quicker as well. And as far as like stuff that's branded with like the Dash League logo, there's a lot more options on that stuff right now. But yeah, of course, shirts, hoodies, hats. There's some shoes. There's some like sweatpants. There's like a basic little backpack thing. There's stuff like that, pint glasses, puzzles, posters. So there's a lot of interesting stuff, and we'll be adding more as time permits and all that. So I'm excited for the launch. I'm sure, like Gollum was saying earlier with Dave's website, Dave and Cosign's website, that there's going to be some growing pains and things that might not work right off the bat, and let us know. So I'm sure there'll be some of that stuff on the merch store. It looks good to me, but different eyes looking at it telling me, no, that's messed up and that's messed up. Y'all let me know so I can fix that stuff.
The thing that I'm most excited for is the prospect, like the very idea that I could be like walking around in my normal everyday life and see somebody with a Dash League like swag shirt,
That would be sick, right?
sweatshirt, and then do like the Spider-Man pointing meme, like, hey,
You.
you.
I've got some.
The chance is low, but not zero.
Exactly.
Snarple sent me some car window decals, and so I have a couple of those on the back of my truck, and I'm very upset because they're not lined up very well. They're kind of crooked and whatever. But still, it's like I hope someday someone will walk up and like, Dash League, bro, Dash League. Who are you? Like, which player are you? Like, no shit. Like,
I also have the decal on my car, and the thing that I'm worried about is like doing something bad, like traffic wise, and then like having somebody show up on the Discord and be like, "You son of a bitch!" You're the one that cut me off.
When you try to outrun the cops and get away from them, and like you pull off into an alley or something and try to park in a dark place, and like, oh, there's just another truck. But no, I saw those decals on that truck, so now my truck is identifiable. So that's a drawback.
Former
I
commissioner.
got to stop running from the cops.
Counterpoint.
I had one
the
for
cop
a
just has to be
while.
part of Dash League.
What'd you say, Lobster?
The cop just has to be part of Dash League, and then
Yeah,
they'll
there
let
you
you
go.
off
Right.
the hook.
What?
You guys right in the
Watch the cop that pulls me over. Like, I know Jake's in corrections. Pulls me over, and Jake will be like, I pulled you over, blah blah blah. But then he'll ask, "Who are you in Dash League?" And depending on what you say, you get a ticket or a warning. He'll be like, "Lateralus, sir, step out of the vehicle."
And
Straight to jail.
yeah, double the
Straight to
ticket.
jail.
Step out of the vehicle, sir. Put your face on the concrete, arms behind your back.
Everybody should just say they're doll. Anytime they're doll.
Yeah, I do sound a lot like Doll, so that I probably could pass out potentially.
No.
But yeah, I don't know what more to say about the merch store. I mean, I'm excited for it to open. Anything I'm missing on that front, Laz?
Anything we are missing? But yeah, there's a lot of stuff on there. There's going to be the 10% discount code for the Weekend Power Tournament. We're not going to be doing discount codes like basically ever. We don't have any future ones planned out. So I would recommend buying stuff that weekend if you're planning the stuff.
Yeah, the
It'll be
discount will
10%
just
off.
run through the weekend. I know, I still have to figure out how to apply a discount to everything. That's still something I have to do. I've been working on the merch store all day yesterday, all day today. I actually forgot about this, about DashCast, but someone pinged in the DashCast channel, and I just happened to like take a break and check pings, and I'm like, oh shit, it's in 20 minutes. So that's what I was doing. And as I'm doing that, as I'm going through the store, I'm finding things that I need to update and change. Like, I have to update, Laz, I have to update all those images on the front page with the, whatever. I have to update that stuff. I've been working on like champion logos and stuff for that. So getting that up to date with last season's champion sort of stuff. So I'm sure as you guys look at the site, you'll see things that look, see something that might not look the way it's supposed to or whatever. So just let me know, open a ticket. Or
I will also caveat that with is that for the merch store, Lat has probably put in close to like 300 man hours on it, if not more. And when he was trying to teach me how to do it, he spent like an hour going over how to align something properly. So I doubt there will be many issues, if any, at least from my personal experience.
Yeah, I kind of, when I was doing this, I knew that if I had a whole team of people, then things wouldn't be consistent, or there wouldn't be like a consistent theme, or like maybe a couple people are really paying attention to align logos and stuff on the products really well, and then some other people won't. I remember when Dre was doing his merch stuff, I went and bought another shirt, and I don't know if Dre just misaligned the thing or if it was an issue with printing or something like that, but like the O for other was just off center, and it was so obviously off center that it's like, okay, well, I guess this is just a wear around the house shirt. I'm not wearing this out because this is looks ridiculous with it not being on center. So I wanted to not have any issues like that. So things should be, as far as things look and all that, should be aligned well and all that. But even on the back end, just the organization of stuff, how things are titled and all that, I knew it would be much more sloppy with the more people that I had. So I just kind of did all this on my own, which is, of course, another reason why it took so long and all that. But I'm hoping that by doing that and you guys being patient and waiting for it, that you'll be rewarded by it being a nice store and all that. So anyway,
what that does mean now is that if there is anything wrong, it is personally Lat's fault.
it is
and
100% my fault.
Yes, Goose?
I was laughing along. I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
100%
I believe, isn't the customer
be the one
support
getting punished for it.
Isn't the customer support like just your phone number, Lat, so they can personally
it's your
call
phone
you
number.
to complain?
No,
No, it's my phone number? Wait,
Yeah,
what?
yeah.
I didn't agree.
Yeah, it's your
Okay.
phone
Sign the
number.
contract. Come on.
Yeah, the
Do we
backup
have
phone
to
number is your
launch merch
girlfriend's number. Yeah, but okay, so I guess that wraps it for DashCast season 2, episode 1. And this one was more of a, I guess, sort of like a housekeeping episode. What's going on? Introducing new people, introducing new season, new projects we have on, new sites and stuff like that. Next episode, we should probably have some fun stuff to go over. Have some
we're gonna
more
look at the
just
memes.
conversational stuff.
We're gonna look at the memes. That
a lot of
people
memes to
posting.
go through. Yeah. So
We're gonna have a montage
Anyway.
where it's like next episode.
Maybe.
Yeah. One of the things about DashCast I will say is that as far as production goes, that's all Goose. The rest of us will hop in here and just, bloviate for a little while and talk too much like I do and crack bad jokes like I do. But Goose on the back end does all the work. So you guys, and I know a lot of you really enjoy DashCast, so you guys please go out and let Goose know you appreciate it and all that. He does a lot of work. And since it is just Goose and we have deadlines on the show and stuff like that, it by necessity things have to be bare bones at times. Of course, we want to have a bunch of bells and whistles and all that, but just being Goose working on it, there's a limitation to what he has time for, especially when you have like a play going on, Goose, where you have to be in the theater all week and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But Goose, are you looking for help with production like we tried to do first season? Are you interested in?
I mean,
seeing if
that'd be awesome. Once we get into the actual season itself, we're gonna be doing some like highlight, reels and that type of thing. So if
give a
you're
pitch real
interested,
quick on what specifically you need help with. So yeah, highlights. But what else? Like what things?
Okay, so last year, or not last year, whenever we did season 1, we did a lot of telling the scores of each match, and I would have to go through the website and just dig out all of those scores myself and then put them into like a video file or like a PowerPoint. So if you could do it, like if you're listening right now and you're like, I can do that, like that'd be amazing, because that would take so much off of my shoulders. If you could just like put that together and send it to me, and I will just yap over it. And then the highlights, those are the two biggest things. We're also, I think we're looking for somebody to do a players of the cycle. So if you're interested in highlighting some good players in each cycle, that would be amazing. But those are the biggest things.
All right, sweet. So reach out to Goose, DM him or something if you're interested.
Oh.
Lat cut out. That's fun.
Lat, what'd you say? You cut out there.
I said, just reach out to Goose in a DM. You guys can discuss how you can help and what he needs from you and all that. And with that said, anybody else have any final thoughts? We can cut this episode after this.
I do. I have a very important one, but it should be the last one. So
Mm, mm.
All right.
Goose, Lobster, and Lat go, and then I will do my thing.
I'm all good. Lobster, Goose, you guys have anything else to mention while we're here?
No,
I'm okay.
I think this is a good short episode. And then next episode is going to be a little bit longer and more.
Yeah, a
Got it.
short hour and 30-minute episode. We're getting,
Short hour and 30
we're getting
minutes.
down.
Okay, well we had like 4 and 3 hour episodes last season, so
Those are so much fun.
I mean,
though.
we could basically fit it in like a TikTok format, like down to 60 seconds.
Ooh,
we're
yeah.
we're reaching there.
oh yeah.
We can fit it into 3 minutes.
Maybe we could do like Skibidi Toilet Dash League.
No, but thought.
I have that image. I can put it up right now.
I-
Here it is.
I
There it
hope
is.
you are. That's
No.
why I said it. That's why I said it.
Dashcast
No,
will now
but
exclusively
nice
be delivered
thought.
in Vine
Try.
format.
Vine?
Try
How old
again.
are you?
Yeah, 7
Better.
seconds. 7 seconds. That's it.
Who's trying to riz up who in Dash League? Find out next time on the
Next
Skibidi
episode.
Dashcast.
Where is Baby Gronk? Is he Dasher? Let's find out.
Brawler.
All right,
Brawler.
Laz, what's your final thought? Let's get out of here.
As was brought up at the beginning of this episode, there's been a mariachi band going on for like 12 to 13 hours.
Ooh, yeah.
We're reaching hour 15. No signs of stopping. I don't know if it'll go off before I go to sleep tonight. I'm starting to get concerned.
Maybe we could play out the episode with some mariachi music. Back to that room. We could just play it out with some nice mariachi tunes.
Yes.
Or not. Goodbye, everybody.
All right, see you next time,
That's
guys.
DashCast episode, season 2, episode 1. We'll be back in. Goose, are we waiting for the next episode for the season to start? Are we going to have something?
Well, I thought we were going to do a preseason so we could talk about
Yeah,
the
true.
I know what the plan was. Unlike
Okay.
you two losers. Is
the
so
drink,
all
the
right.
drink has a plan.
I do have a plan. But
Am I a loser or am I not a loser? I need to know.
oh, you're 100% a loser, Lobster. You didn't even need to
Oh,
ask.
yeah. Okay.
Loser
But,
master, we've established this.
Yeah.
But so there's going to be a weekend in between the season starting and when team registration closes. So we'll do it that weekend, where we can talk about all the new teams and what's changing.
Sweet Jesus. So, 3 weeks or so from now, we'll have another one of these. But thank you guys for listening, and peace out. That's it.
Woo!